Tonight, Queen City and Baltimore, both vying for wild card position with the exact same records, square off. You are looking live at Vultures Field in Baltimore, Maryland. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colin Northrup. Their play-by-play, Rick Northrup on color.
Good evening, everybody.
Alan Avery manning the stats from the truck. As Queen City takes on Baltimore, both of these teams with the exact same record near the top of the league.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great test for both teams and maybe a little preview of who's more playoff ready, Colin.
For Baltimore, they're coming off a loss to Tallahassee. And for Queen City, they're coming off a loss to Sioux Falls. Both teams 5-3. Who will come out on top? AJ Caswell calls the toss of the coin. And it is heads. Baltimore elects to receive. Well, Rick, we've seen Baltimore in action once before this year. And T-Roy Gaines has now eclipsed 1,000 yards. I think he'll be the key tonight.
Absolutely going to be one of the keys. And if they can get him going, it's going to be a good night for them.
Ricky Matthews has the ball teed up and ready to go. Kick it. We're underway. And the kick is away. Fielded by Cody Apollo up the middle. Will get knocked down at about the 27-yard line. So let's introduce you to the Baltimore offense. We already mentioned halfback number 35, T-Roy Gaines. The quarterback is number 7, Mike Dazzo. His wide receivers are Bishop Warfield, number 15, and Daley Holder, number 87. Graham Lloyd Jr. is the tight end, number 83. And we'll set the Queen City defense for you in a moment. Empty shotgun look for Dazzo on 1st and 10. Back to throw he goes over the middle, and it's complete to Holder to the 42-yard line.
Throws a seeing-eye dart there between the entire defensive secondary for a completion.
We're about a 17-yard pickup on 1st down. Baltimore gets busy right away in the passing game. We'll set the Queen City defense for you after this play. I formation gains the deep back. He will take it on the swing from Dazzo, and he didn't make a man miss in the open field. He picked up 5 yards, however. 2nd and 5.
Trying to work the field a little bit early here in the first 2 plays, Colin. A dart over the middle and then a swing pass.
Jeff Duffy is the defensive lineman, number 53. Avery King is the outside linebacker, number 44. The secondary is quite loaded, as we have a standard pro set backfield for Baltimore. Over in the middle they go. One-handed backwards catch by, I believe that's Graham Lloyd Jr. Yes, it is.
Briefly looked knocked out there, but he gets up, pumping his fist in the air.
Lloyd Graham Jr., that is. I keep mixing those two things up. Anyway. Back to the Queen City defense. The corners are Farrell Raines, number 24, and Oscar Dunkley, number 42. And the safeties, as Dazzo throws, complete to Warfield for about a 6-yard pickup. For a 4-yard pickup, it will be 2nd and 6 from the Queen City 36. The safeties are the strong safety, number 31, Nacho Sicario. And the free safeties are number 21, Zane Dottie, and number 25, Achilles Frank. We have a 2nd and 6 for Baltimore. Here's a play going wide to Gaines, who runs over defender, and will make it a 3rd and 3 as he gets knocked down at the 33-yard line. Third and 3. Baltimore, on average, is converting at 44% on 3rd down. Queen City just over 50% at 51% allowed on defense. Dazzo back to throw. Quick outcut. It's complete to Warfield, the rookie, who's out of bounds at the 29. First and 10 for Baltimore on their opening possession from the Queen City 29-yard line. Here's a look at T-Roy Gaines. Dazzo back to throw. Throws over the middle. Complete to Older between three people to the 12-yard line. Another first down.
Same play as right off the bat for Baltimore. And they are putting themselves in good position here on their first possession. Colin, look at that. A thing of beauty.
I think Marion Rivers won and Enmo 22 for the 100 bits each, along with Hoop Stars 77 with 100 beats in it. Twitch Prime subscriber for the second straight month. As Mike Dazzo throws him complete to Cody Apollo down to the 3. It's not a first down, but they'll set him up 2nd and 1.
Oh, my goodness. I thought for sure he may have broken the plane there, Colin, but guess not. They call him short of the line of gain. 2nd and 1.
Offset I formation. Gaines. He got the first down, but he didn't score. They say it all the time, and it almost never happens, but that time it did happen.
You can get a first down and still not score. And that's what happened. Well, I get 3 more whacks at the end zone here.
Ethan Kai, thank you for the kind words. He said, just drop in to say hi to two of my favorite broadcast people, Colin and Rick Northrup. Back to work I go. As T-Roy Gaines gets the end up on 1st and goal, and he actually gets stopped at the 1. Zane Duddy, coming up from his free safety position, makes the stop.
A good recognition by Doty there on what Baltimore is trying to do. Maybe one of the few times in this drive that Queen City actually knew what was coming.
2 receivers to the top, Holder in the slot. To the top of your screen, they'll throw. Instead, they'll go to Gaines, who actually lost 4 yards on the swing.
Oh, my gosh. Drop that ball, buddy.
Oh, man. T-Roy Gaines. You're right. He was better off dropping that ball.
Although
Thomas Paternity will not be happy with him.
He had to be careful. It was close to a lateral, and you don't want to take a chance with that and have it be a live ball.
We have 3rd and goal from the 5. Dazzo with 2 receivers to the bottom. Warfield now in the slot. Back to throw. Swings it out to Gaines, and this time he redeems himself by scoring a touchdown.
Somehow Queen City lost him coming out of the backfield, Colin. And there's your first touchdown for your Baltimore Vultures.
So, T-Roy Gaines officially has 2 catches for 1 yard and a touchdown. Can't think of any more of a wacky stat line than that for a running back.
Yes.
Jornoxo said T-Roy was given the red carpet right there, and I have to agree with that one. As the extra point by Shark Tarkington is up and through. He's the contracted kicker, number 19. He puts it through. Second-year player.
Funky little drive there for Baltimore, Colin, as they go right down to the goal line and then go backwards.
Simulation Football League is brought to you by Extraordinary Everest. Heartfelt messages from the most extraordinary place on earth. Bit Central by Fuel, transforming SFL media for 2019, and Harry's. All you need for a close, comfortable shave.
Absolutely.
As the return by Queen City goes up to the 22-yard line. Let's take a look at that Corsair offense. Quarterback, number 16, A.J. Caswell. The running back is number 22, Ash Odom, he went over 5,000 yards for his career last week. Congratulations to him. And the wide receivers are J.K. Johnson III, number 11, Chris Curtis, number 84, and Stephen Acker, number 88. We start the game off in an I formation for Queen City, and the handoff goes to Odom, who breaks the tackle, sprinting to the outside, and he picks up 10 yards with ease as he gets knocked down to the 32-yard line.
Baltimore had him dead to rights, either almost behind the line of scrimmage and then at the line of scrimmage, but no, right there, and makes a nifty little cut around to his right.
Giovanni Bolt saves what could have been a very long touchdown, the free safety number 41.
Expect to see that one later in the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Big play, Tony Willis, number 31, is the strong safety. We'll get to the rest of the defense in just a minute. Split backs, 3 wide receivers for Queen City. Back flanking either side of Caswell. Changes the play now, throws a quick out cut, complete. That is to Hacker. And Mr. Hacker is out of bounds at the Queen City 43.
Baltimore felt that there was going to be a pass play there, and they run a twist on the inside to try and put pressure on the quarterback, but it's a quick throw and a good gain and a first down.
Cornerbacks are number 25, Kaz McFly, Wild Thornberry, number 28. It's Caswell over the middle, completes to the tight end, number 85.
That time Baltimore doesn't mess around and just does a straight-ahead rush, standard rush, and they still can't put any pressure on him.
Brian Seek, 2nd and 2. I formation, fullback in front of Odom. And here's to get to Ashley's second carry. He picks up the first down with ease before number 55, Courtney Cate, makes the tackle. That name sounds familiar. He was working for a European company as the office enforcer of the rules.
There we go. And Queen City here is attempting to return the favor on Baltimore and say, well, we can march down to the goal line too as they cross the 50.
As Odom up the middle, gains 4 yards. Amon Takes is the inside linebacker, number 56, and the veteran is the outside linebacker, number 47, Joe Dazzo, in terms of contracted people.
Razzo Dazzo.
Welcome in Ashley Jackson, Dazzo 0007, and Dazzo 47 into the chat. We have a 2nd and 6. Odom gets another carry, and he almost busted through, but he picks up 3 yards.
Almost bull rushes himself ahead. And, Ashley Jackson appearing in the chat, Colin, reminds me we haven't had a chance to see her in action in several weeks. We had a number of her games in the early going, but I miss that.
3rd and 1. Odom, the single back, aligned off to the left. Instead, they'll throw on 3rd and 1, and he goes down for a sack. That is Bishop Mutombo.
All right.
Number 92 coming in on the rush and making the hit.
Well, you can tell Baltimore has kept making adjustments on their D-line play, and they're finally able to get pressure on Caswell, Colin.
As he was able to just get past the guard, a little spin move, and the big guy brings him down, setting up a 4th and long.
Right, of course, it's team game, too, because he normally has gotten the ball out of his hands, but that time coverage was in good shape, allowing the rush to get there.
And the punt is away, and it's caught right at the 5. The gunner played that beautifully, as like he was catching a long pass from the punter. Ricky Matthews with an outstanding job, pins Baltimore inside their own 10 at their 5 exactly.
Well, Baltimore allows the gunner to get downfield, and he elbows, I didn't see who that was, one of the protectors to the ground, turns around and makes a catch.
We have 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 5-yard line. They got to be careful here. T.R. Gaines is standing in his own end zone. He gets the ball. Follows his fullback in front and picks up the first down with ease to the 17. That was a pickup of about 11.
I believe you're right. Yeah,
that's correct.
Always love the chess references in the chat. Thank you so much, Crewnox. See Harunox? Charunox?
I think you were right.
Somebody help me out here.
I think you were right the first time.
I'm dying over here.
Dazzo with 68 yards. He comes out with a 3-man backfield. One receiver to the bottom is Bishop. Against the nickel defense, they'll throw against it. This time swing it out to Gaines, and Gaines will gain 4 yards.
At least it wasn't thrown and then immediately waltzing out of bounds. Teams are trying to get better on that. I can't take credit for it, but everybody knows I crab about it. Those swing passes that are poorly executed, thrown right on the sideline, and there's nothing the receiver can do with it.
Yeah. Mark Lopez at the Vancouver Legion also co-headed statistics for the league in the chat. As Gaines breaks the tackle, breaks another one, and he almost got the first down as he said, "Get off me," to number 42.
And then, and I didn't see who came up, and no sooner does he say, "Get off me," and he gets rocked.
That was Oscar Dungley, he said, to get off to. Man, that's got to be top 10 Sports Center material right there. 3rd and 2. Graham Lloyd Jr. to the bottom.
They're throwing.
And they go his direction, and
does he get it? They call that?
Lloyd Graham catches it inbounds, and they'll mark it first down at the 30.
Graham Jr., nice job as he gets spun around by the pass and is still able to corral it, get his feet down before he sits down on the sidelines. Get down, feet down, sit down.
He's lined up in line. Number 83, a midseason pickup for Lee Weber.
Oh!
As Gaines gets another pass, this time he spins around and picks up 2 yards for his trouble.
Also thrown behind him. Little technical detail there, but can't keep doing that.
5 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown for Mr. Gaines so far. Here we have a tight formation with Warfield split almost out on a wing for the 2nd and 8 play. Here's the stretch play to Gaines, cuts inside, breaks 2 tackles, 3, 4, and he goes all the way down to the 45. He broke about 4 tackles on way as he was looking for contact.
Yes, indeed.
There's 1. He hurdled over another. There's 2. And he carried a couple more for a ride. Ashley Jackson, thank you for the 100 bits. Standard pro set backfield behind Dazzo for 1st and 10. Here's to give off to Gaines, and Gaines will smash ahead for 5 yards. As we reach the end of the first quarter, Baltimore is in front 7-0. You're watching the Simulation Football League's Rivalry Night on Twitch.tv.
The SFL is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. And brought to you in part by Matt Doyle Designs, official design partner of the SFL.
Back on the field out of the timeout, I'm Colin Northup. He's Rick Northup. Avery Allen is handling the stats for us tonight.
Rocket.
We have a 2nd and 5 from the 50 for Baltimore. Dazzo back to throw, has plenty of time, lets this pass go to the sideline to complete for a first down to the 42.
Baltimore's intent on making Queen City pay for
Lloyd Graham Jr., another catch, his 4th in the day. And the big tight end is making his presence felt.
pay a price for not being able to sustain their drives. This is what it's all about.
Split back formation, 3 wide receivers. Here's the give on a dive up the middle of Gaines, and he's wrapped up by Avery King after a pickup of 5 to the Queen City 37.
Is it just me, Colin, or is that looking too easy right now for Baltimore?
The yards are coming in chunks. If you're Eric Barkley, you're not pleased, to say the least. First and 10 for Baltimore. One receiver to either side. Gaines split off to the right-hand side in the backfield. Dazzle will give it to him on the stretch, going wide. It's Gaines. Almost broke through a tackle, but will pick up 2 yards in the meantime, setting up a 3rd and 1.
Queen City has a lot of defenders in El Adia, but they just can't. They're not right there in the right place, exactly the right place, Colin. Baltimore's got to be real happy so far. Whoops. As they snap it here and get the first down as they cross over the 30.
That was Gaines following his blockers.
We brought Denver the service dog with us here to Baltimore tonight, and he's being a little bit of a pest here in the booth. Normally, he takes a nap.
10 carries for 53 yards for Gaines here in the early going. As Dazzo is out of the shotgun and will try. Pass attempt. Number 14. Oh, it's incomplete. Knocked away from his intended receiver. Lloyd Graham Jr. by Nacho Sicario. And that ends a 13 for 13 opening streak for Dazzo. His first incompletion.
Holy smoke. 13.
We have a 2nd and 10 from the 28. Dazzo from the gun again. Throws to Cody. Oh, this time drops the ball.
Oh.
The first one, it wasn't entirely Dazzo's fault. The defender made a play on that one. The other time, it was all the receiver's fault. He just flat out dropped the ball.
Yes, indeed.
3rd and 10.
Oh, I'm sure Baltimore's going to know what to do with themselves. 3rd and long.
They converted one of these early again. They have trips to the bottom, one to the top. And Mike will take the snap. He throws to the end zone.
Oh,
it's caught by Bishop Warfield in one-on-one coverage for the touchdown.
Warfield wins the jump ball contest there, apparently, and takes it in for the score.
We get another look at it here. Just beautiful protection and post cut, and he out jumps Dunkley.
Pulled it right out of his hands.
Dunkley is 6'2". Warfield is 6'3". So
fairly equal.
That
there.
extra inch made all the difference for
Apparently.
Bishop Warfield as he catches that one and takes it in.
Apparently. The high snap on that, Colin. But he gets it down and through. So your Baltimore Vultures take a 14-0 lead.
The SFL is brought to you by Matt Doyle Designs, the official design partner of the SFL.
Media Tech Institute. Visit mediatech.edu for diploma programs. Turn your passion into your profession.
Meanwhile, back in the field, Shark Tarkington kicks this one fairly deep, and this will be fielded about the 1 by Johnson. And Johnson cuts it up the middle, and he gets slammed down at about the 25. So for Queen City, you're down 14-0, but you have plenty of weapons to get you back in this game.
Some thought in the chat room there, Colin, about is something going maybe not so well for Queen City the last 3 games, not just the last game.
And remember, Stephen Hacker went out of the Sioux Falls game early with an ankle injury, and that impacted the offense's ability to get going as it gets Odom, and he gets going for a pickup of 5.
Yes, it did, and at this stage of the game, the team, both the 1s and the 2s, should know their job and be able to gel and fill in for the random injury, missing player, maybe poor performance, a poor night for somebody, even though they're still on the field, right?
I would think so.
I would think so.
Caswell almost throws an interception and that knocked away by Kaz McFly.
McFly totally read that play and had a beat on it.
Almost knocked it into Otman Take's hands. Pass intended for Hacker. And so far, it's not been smooth sailing if you're AJ Caswell. Only 2 of 3 for 17 yards. And none of your other star receivers besides Acker have a reception.
Right,
We're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Odom's the best thing they got going right now here in the first half.
Caswell's back to throw.
Lots of time.
Has all day. Throws. Oh, it's dropped by Brian Seek. But Ahmad Takes was in coverage, and the great Ahmad says, "You shall not catch."
You shall not pass.
And Queen City is again forced to punt. And
okay, quick. Go ahead.
How much longer can they weather the storm?
I don't know how much longer they can weather the storm, but a shout out for the neon green socks, by the way, in Queen City. Nice touch. And a lot of guys have the neon green shoes, too. I guess almost everybody except the kicker's kicking foot.
And it's away. And returned by Apollo up to the 31. So Baltimore is a front by 2 scores, and their defense has done a great job. As John Boyd 26 points out, the Queen City defense has allowed 30 and 37 points the last 2 weeks while scoring only 34 points in the 2 games prior, and they're already at 2 touchdowns allowed tonight.
Yep, that offensive woes combined with a defensive struggle.
As the pass goes out to Gaines, who runs over a defender and picks up 2 or 3 extra yards on his own. That's his 6th catch for 18 yards.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the Rick-ometer is strongly over into the Baltimore section of the dial. Even though it's only a two-score game and we're in the middle of the second quarter, it feels like it's all Baltimore's game to lose at this point.
Standard pro set backfield, 3 wide receivers, man in the slot for Baltimore. Here's Dazzle with a quick drop, has to scramble up the middle, and he gets leveled, but there's no penalty called on the play.
That flag?
Number 99, Jace Robbins, the inside linebacker, came in and took a shot at Dazzle, but no flag was thrown.
Well, Weird Al Yankovic just called and said, "Eat it."
Chad Morgan, the fullback in front of Gaines in the I formation. 2 tight ends, a balanced line. And Dezo, it's a busted play in the backfield, and he doesn't get the first down. No. I believe one of the defensive linemen broke through and interrupted the handoff sequence, so Mike was forced to scramble. And unfortunately for him, he didn't get the first down, although Thomas Paternitti is making this Harry's close call, close-shaped challenge.
Unless they've got a good view down the line, and we'll find out right here. I'm not sure they'll be able to overturn it. Although it sure appeared live that he made that.
Jeff Duffy's the one who blew
there,
it up.
Right there.
And it looks like, well, get a look at this second angle. This is the key.
Yeah, see.
That ball is right at the line, so I would think our 62 would change. Let's get the call. And Baltimore wins the challenge. So they prevent themselves from being in a sticky situation.
Rightly so.
So snatched out.
I want to see that handoff again, which we won't be able to, or the snap again. And I wonder how much getting his bell rung on that slide may have affected him just a little bit to cleanly execute that play. Anybody think about that? Hello? I'm sorry.
As Gaines up the middle, he bursts through and he picks up close to 10 yards on the play.
They're calling it 2nd and inches. If that was 4th and inches.
From shave sets to shave handles, Harry's provides quality craftsmanship. Made in Germany, we make Harry's products from the finest materials and ingredients to ensure they can perform as well as they possibly can. Use the coupon code SimulationFL at purchase from Harry's.com. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL. Harry's, the official razor of the SFL.
Well, Baltimore feeling their oats on that play, Colin, as they've got 2nd and inches, and they decide to throw rather than run a QB sneak or something more standard. And it almost cost him, as it was almost picked, or it should have been picked maybe.
Darryl Bevel called. He said it was a bad idea. He said that's a bad idea. Remember the Super Bowl?
Hello. What is going on here, Colin?
And Dazo throws to Gaines, and this time they get a blocker for the first down as he takes Avery King for a little bit of a ride. And Mike is now at 127 in a pair of touchdowns. AJ is stuck at 18 yards.
I got no dog in this hunt, Colin, but I got to tell you, those last 2 plays by Baltimore just about set my hair on fire. I can't believe that.
As Dazo back to throw, throws to the sideline. It's complete and a toe drag swag job by Daly Holder for a pickup of 6, makes it 2nd and 4. Holder has 2 receptions for 32 yards. Bishop Warfield 3 catches on 4 targets for 36 yards and a touchdown. As T-Roy Gaines lines up in the backfield, Daly Holder is in the slot on this 2nd down and 4 play. Gaines takes the handoff and he gets racked up in the backfield for no gain.
It was interesting there, Colin, that the Queen City D-line does a shift after the O-line is set during the snap signal calling, maybe trying to just shake it up a little bit and confuse the blocking scheme, and I think it worked on that play.
As we have a 3rd and 6, empty backfield for Baltimore. Back to throw as Dazzle fires it down the field. Oscar Dunkley with a one-handed deflection away at Bishop Warfield, the intended receiver. 4th down coming up.
Wow, well, right there, so some exhortation among the fan base for Queen City's D to man up, and maybe they heard them there, Colin, on that little sequence.
Pablo gets to punt it away for Baltimore.
It's going to be a little finesse punt here. Doesn't want it to go into the end zone.
Snap is low. Kick is high. Will bound at the 5 and roll into the end zone.
Despite Queen City's gunners and coverage team having an ability to get down to the goal line, they don't, but they luck out as that ball. But Baltimore lucks out as that ball rolls into the end zone.
As the Corsairs operate from their own 20, down by a couple of scores, in their offense kind of in this daze or fog, if you will. And this will start to drive, but an Ash Odom carry, and he'll get stopped at the line of scrimmage by Amon Takes. His Odom has 31 yards on 6 carries.
Baltimore's D-line has a straight-ahead rush, but then they put a linebacker in the B gap, and then they send the middle linebacker also. End up rushing 6, and we're able to stop them, bring up 2nd and 10.
Press coverage type look from Baltimore as Caswell throws. Has plenty of time, but he overthrows his man. Acker had a step, but it was about 10 yards over his head.
Not sure if he didn't have good vision, actually couldn't see really well on that one, or if he was worried about the rush. Baltimore sends the ends, delays the tackles, and then the tackles advance and kind of caught Queen City's O-line by surprise.
Shotgun formation, press coverage look from Baltimore. Blitz on. Caswell got away from 1.
Got away
from all, but not the 3rd.
Third time lucky for the Vultures, and
we have a man down on the field. It is Michael Wall, the defensive tackle. And the sack was made by number 56, Amon Takes.
Look at this again.
Get a look at the nose tackle.
1, 2.
And then there's the 3rd. As Walt tried to get up.
He was the first one to get through there, no?
He did get through, and let's hope for his sake. I heard his mom's here tonight, and let's just hope nothing serious has happened to her son.
Ah, geez. No doubt. Well, we'll get an update here shortly, I'm sure.
As the punt was nearly blocked by Matthews, and Baltimore will end up getting good field position as they get right at the 50 with 4:10 to go until the half.
Well, the Rickometer is still pointing solidly at Baltimore at this point, and Queen City just got to be pulling their hair out, trying to figure out what they need to do.
We have a 1st and 10 from the 50. 3 wide receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom of your picture. Staring at a nickel defense from Queen City with 3 down linemen as Dazo pumps over the middle. He goes complete. Lloyd Graham Jr.
Who else?
And the big tight end makes his presence known once again on this little slant cut.
Oh, he's lucky he turned around. I know you might have seen that out of his peripheral vision, Colin, and that has got to be the 5th or 6th time they've run that exact same play. Maybe different receivers, but always on that slant.
4 catches for 55 yards on 5 targets for Lloyd Graham Jr. as back to throw, throws it out to Gaines, and Gaines could not get by the linebacker, number 57 for Queen City, Tim Jacoby, as that's his 8th catch for 20 yards.
Got to keep throwing it to Lloyd Graham, I guess.
And that's a loss of 4 in the play, 2nd and 14.
Well, Gaines did score the touchdown for them.
He did indeed. As Dazo throws once again, complete it. There's your man again, Graham Jr., and he picks up 13 of it, setting up a 3rd and 1 situation. Oh, milestone alert. Dazo is trying to secure a 2nd all-time by moving past, I believe, Joseph Redfeather for number 2 all-time passing yards.
Wow.
So they're trying to get him the record, but I'm sure he'd prefer a win over the record would Mike. As Gaines up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's going to go down to the 2. He almost got in, but Pharaoh Reigns played the saver.
Just a beautiful run. And pure panic by Queen City secondary keeps him out of the end zone.
As he runs over Dunkley with just his shoulder. And he runs over Nacho. And he gets down to the 2. Dazzle's trying to pass Marconi. Thanks for that little tip from Mike in the chat.
Thank you, Mike in the chat.
As we get a 1st and goal from the 2. Gaines tries to squeeze down into the end zone. He got to the goal line, but he's not in. And that will bring us to the Quip 2-minute warning. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Twitch. I'm Colin Northup. He's Rick Northup. We have Avery Allen in the truck doing stats for us. It's Saturday night rivalry night. It's Queen City takes on Baltimore, but right now it's all of the men of the black and red. You have a 2nd and goal from basically inside the 1-yard line. And they're going to throw. They're going to go to T-Roy, and he gets in there for his 2nd touchdown.
That's like their first touchdown. They just run it to the opposite side of the formation this time, Colin. And pending the PAT, Baltimore will take a 3-score lead, 21, about to go up 21 to nothing. You know, what's interesting, Colin, is almost the halfway point, and Baltimore averages about 26 points a game. This will put them well ahead of that pace.
Well ahead indeed.
Tonight against Queen City.
After this extra point by Tarkington, I have a word from Quip, our 2-minute warning sponsor. As the extra point is up and through. Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with timed vibrations. Brush head refills for $5. Refill every 3 months. Covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link posted in the chat and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Quip, a more wholesome clean. And thank you, T. Paternity, for posting that for us in chat. Click the link if you want to purchase a toothbrush. As Johnson returns it up to the 24.
You know, I'm just looking over some of the stats for Queen City, and on a season basis, you know, they're pretty good. Their average is 25 points per game in terms of scoring, and they don't turn the ball over very much. Of course, we haven't seen a turnover here tonight. But their last couple of games, they haven't scored much, and they've given up a bucket load of points. So
Caswell is 2 for 5 for 17 yards. This is only his third completion and first one. And it goes once again to Stephen Hacker, only his second reception.
Those season statistics are a little misleading relative to last couple weeks' performance for Queen City.
Tackle made by Kaz McFly. That's a pickup of 7 on the previous play.
What does Mr. Allen say about where are we at Queen City for passing yards at this point, Colin?
Oh, well, with that last completion, we're now 3 of 6 for 24. As Ash Odom gets stuffed in the backfield, he lost a bunch of yards, and there's the injury report for Michael Wall, who will be done for tonight. But we have some wicked good doctors. He'll be back for next week's game.
Yeah. Hope so. That's hyperextended. Sometimes you can call that nursemaid's elbow, too. So I forget how many passing yards, but it was a double-digit number. Queen City's average is 342.
As the throw over the middle to Chris Curtis is dropped.
Per game, and there's some more passing yards not achieved by your
as
Queen
Wild
City.
Thornberry on the deflection, and the only saving grace for Queen City is that they'll get the ball first to start the second half, but they have a long way to go uphill.
Well, they're going to have to play about 50 seconds of defense here before they can get back to the locker room and work on some adjustments.
Here is the punt away by Matthews. And it is fielded by Apollo, who gets it up to 38. So 46 seconds up, all 3 timeouts. You have a 3-score lead. I'm assuming you would just be happy to go into the locker room up by 3 scores and would just run the rest of this clock.
I think so. And the way that running game's been clicking, maybe that's what you do. In a couple of plays, you may crank out 15, 20, 25 yards. We'll see.
14 carries for 85 yards for T. Roy Gaines. 2 receiving touchdowns. As Daza will throws to Bishop Warfield. First down and a whole lot more down to the 35-yard line in Baltimore. Following that big explosive play down to the Corsair 35, calls a timeout with 38 seconds left.
And you could do that as Mr. Warfield marches his way down the sideline for a big gain. Timely, too, in terms of what Baltimore may or may not attempt to do right here at the end of the half, Colin, and now they've got something to work with.
As John Boy 26, John Barnhart says, counting tonight's game, Queen City has been outscored 88-34 in the last 3 games.
Oh, that's a great number. Thank you for putting that together.
1st and 10 from 35, standard pro set backfield, 3 wide receivers, Holder in the slot. It's Dazzo to throw again. This time he goes again to Warfield, who catches it inbounds, and here we go with the hurry up.
If I have one critique of Dazzo at halftime, a lot of his throws have been behind the receivers.
As he throws it again, and it is complete. For a first down, they take a timeout with 22 seconds left.
Well done. So they're in field goal range. They've got a first down.
They have 1 timeout remaining.
They got 22 seconds, so
they got to be smart here. It's Bishop Warfield, 6 receptions on 8 targets for 73 yards and 1 spectacular touchdown.
Gratuitous analyst comment coming up right here. Can't afford a sack.
It's a 20-yard touchdown. As the throw is intercepted on the most weirdly thrown ball I have ever seen as Zane Doty picks it off out of the air.
I believe that was that tipped? We didn't get a good look on the replay there, but I think that was tipped at the line, and that's why it looked like a little pop-up. As
that was probably the wackiest throw I have ever seen, apart from that Alaska-Tallahassee interception.
It is the SFL, so just wait.
As the throw. Oh, he almost gave it right back to Giovanni Bolt. He almost gave it right back as Giovanni Bolt had it in his hands, and he dropped it.
He had it once, and then he had it twice, Colin, and then he didn't have it. Oh, my gosh.
As Dazza 007 goes, you jinxed me. I'm sorry, Mike. All complaints will be directed toward the man sitting on my right. As Heshoda breaks a tackle and will get up to the 29-yard line. He picks up
a few, but that's going to be it, Colin, for the half.
As Baltimore is in front 21-0. Queen City had a lot of work to do. Yikes, man alive. Queen City with only 60 total yards of offense in just 6 minutes of possession. Baltimore over 12 minutes of possession at this point. Let's get the highlights going across the screen. T-Roy gains a couple of nice goal line-ish touchdown receptions. There's a beautiful pass to Warfield right over Dunkley. And then T-Roy, he's just exploded for a couple of these, running over Dunkley there, breaking it, Sicario's tackle there. When your running back is one of the lead receivers, usually that's not a good sign, but in this case, for Baltimore, it means getting production out of gains. In a myriad of other ways, that's the end of the highlights for the half. Queen City gets the ball first. They're down by 3 scores, and they have a long way to make the river run uphill. Tarkington set to tee this one off. And it is away. Johnson turns it up to the 22, including his time at Minneapolis, where Paternity was 32-14. And if you counter in all but one game at Baltimore, Paternity is 46-20. Milestone alert from Mike Dazzo. He needs only 49 yards to take the number 2 all-time passing spot away from the legend that is Rocco Marconi.
Mr. Radio.
As the counterplay goes to Odom, who runs over big play Tony Willis for a pickup of 5 yards on the first play.
Not a bad call, not bad looking. Come on, Queen City. Make this thing interesting.
Papa Dazzo with the comment, keep your eyes on the ice cream, Mike. I remember Joe gets all the guys ice cream when they win games. As Odom again up the middle. This time he squeezes out 2 yards. He's 42 yards and 10 carries is Mr. Odom.
That's the best thing going for Queen City right now.
but they're too entirely one-dimensional.
Well, at least they have a dimension.
At this point. As back to throw, and Caswell is sacked. He is sacked by 2 men back there. Number 92, Bishop Mutombo, and number 62,
I guess this technically is a sack as
Miles Jackson.
doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, although it was close.
As things continue to go astonishingly sideways for Queen City. As Cody Apollo returns to the 38. John Boy 26 says, in Sioux Falls, if we win, we get gummy worm snacks. Meanwhile, Baltimore is operating with 1 receiver to either side, 2 tight ends. And Dazzo, looking to chunk away the record already, picks up 4 yards on first down. And John Boy 26 is reminded by his defensive coordinator, A.J. Levy, that's just for the rookies, man. Meanwhile, back on the field, with 2nd and 6, 2 tight ends, balance line here, give off to team right gains. Oof, he gets stuffed in the backfield for a loss of 1. Zane Doty playing a brilliant job in run support with the big tackle. Are you seeing what's going on in the chat right now? And meanwhile, back on the field, we have a 3rd and 7. Quick drop for Mike. Over the middle he goes. Oh, it's dropped. It's knocked away. Tim Jacoby knocked it away from Daly Holder as the linebacker, playing one-on-one in space with the receiver. Brilliant.
There seems to be it's devolved into a cookie and candy discussion.
Nothing wrong with cookies, right there.
Absolutely not. And look, a Baltimore punt, Colin.
That's Gates back to punt for, I would think, the 2nd time. As Johnson returns it up to the 24.
Well, 8:07 to go here in the 3rd quarter. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Twitch.
1st and 10 from the Queen City 24. They're down by 3, but still plenty of time to get back in this ball game. Have to pick up your play a little bit if you're AJ Caswell. They'll turn and give to Odom, and Odom will pick up 2 yards. As the tackle was made by Joe Dazzo. Oh, meanwhile, the dog felt the need to attack something in the booth. Something in the booth, indeed. As the throw goes out to Steven Acker. Acker makes another catch. His 3rd on 5 targets. Curtis and Johnson both without receptions.
Is that right? Very unexpected. Indeed.
As the handoff is to Odom, he picks up the first down on 3rd and 1.
Queen City trying to get across midfield for maybe only the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's something shocking. If you're Queen City, they've had 7 drives for a total of 29 plays, 5 punts. And until recently, they were 1 for 5 on third down as Caswell. Over the middle. It is incomplete, knocked away by Tony Willis.
That's just very uncharacteristic for a Queen City team right there. And that play should have been an easy pitch and catch for a first down.
There's Tony Willis with the knockdown coming over in his second year after spending in Baltimore after spending the previous couple with the Storm in Alaska. As the throw goes out to Stephen Hacker and he gets out of bounds at the 42, set up the third step.
Now, I'm having a hard time understanding what's going on because Baltimore doesn't have any problem giving Queen City receivers some generous cushion, but yet Caswell can't find or isn't finding or doesn't have anybody open deep, and he's going with these under and short throws. Now they play tight for Baltimore.
As Caswell down the middle field, complete to Johnson. That's his first reception on the deep post cut.
That's a good route there.
And J.K. Johnson, the third, with a beautiful catch on the post cut. Tony Willis laying down the lumber.
He sells the outside, gets the inside leverage, and he and Caswell are on the same page. Gets the ball delivered to him right in the seam.
Caswell back to throw. Has to dump this off to Odom quick, who breaks a tackle, but he still lost 3 yards. A great amount takes with his second TFL. 5 tackles for him and a sack so far this game. He was second and 13.
On the plus side of the field, come on, Queen City.
Press coverage look again from Baltimore. Back to throw is Caswell. To Hacker again he goes, and he picks up yardage to the Baltimore 37, setting up a 3rd and 8. Once again,
not bad.
My colleague groaning with the outcuts.
Well, and running those routes close to the sideline, and just not much more from a physics standpoint they can do with it. Gave him a couple more yards inside the sideline. So from there, anyway.
And over the middle, complete. Oh, but they say he's short. Hacker got
really?
it. But they say he was short of the sticks. Might be where the challenge here if you're Eric.
Hanky time.
Although you are in field goal range, do you really want to risk sacrificing 3 points? And there, let's take a look. It's the Harry's close call challenge for the second time of the game.
Let's see what we can see.
Has McFly with blanket coverage.
Boy, it looks like he falls right on the line. Now, the yellow line isn't the definitive, but it's super close.
I don't know. This could really go either way. Let's have a listen. And Barkley loses the challenge, and more importantly, for the long-term health of this game, he loses a timeout.
Right. Well, there's your trade-off. Someone upstairs had to tell him that it was should be overturned, but it's not. Video ref doesn't see it that way. Queen City attempts to break the ice.
And here's the field goal attempt by Matthews.
Ooh, is this
snap was low, and it's good from 46.
Wow, Josh. Yeah, that snap was in the dirt. Good job to pick it up and place it.
Wow. Another stat from John Barnhart, 26. First drive of the game where Queen City has been on the Baltimore side of the 50. Simulation Football League, presented by AP Music, is brought to you by Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. Quip, the perfect oral care delivered, and ScoreStream, the official score updates app of the SFL, and SpyGoat, the sound choice.
Absolutely. Thank you, sponsors.
Business is booming, as they say.
It is. And if you're Baltimore, your business is booming as well. Still have an 18-point lead as we're getting into the late minutes of the third.
Here's Dazzo. Throws to the sideline to Lloyd Graham Jr. He's now at 207. Last I checked, he was about 49 yards away. So where does that put us? At the start of the half, he was 49 yards away.
I'm not sure. And how many yards does he have?
207.
Oh, yeah. So he's got more than 49 yards.
Forget what the number was at halftime. As T-Roy Gaines gets stopped on the play.
So we're going to have a sturdy 3rd and 4 for Baltimore. Of course, nobody ever wants to give the ball back on a drive, but here after Queen City has tasted a little bit of the scoreboard, they would like to not give the ball back to them so quickly.
As the throw over the middle goes to Apollo.
Yep.
No, Warfield, and he's short by inches.
Yet they do.
Hello. Mike says his best count was 197 at the half. So
All right.
as he was asking Paternetti, can he go for it? And he was obviously overruled as Gates is back there. Snap, and the kick is away. I thought we might see a fake, but then again, it'd probably be irresponsible as Johnson turns it up to 32. So Queen City got 3 points on their last drive, but they're hoping for 7 this drive so they can continue to chip away at the lead.
Absolutely, and they've got their work cut out for them. As it was pointed out earlier, they haven't seen the plus side of the field very much in this game, and
Stephen Hacker split out wide to the top of your picture. 2 tight ends, the balance line. I showed him the deep back. Caswell goes to Brian Seek, who makes a beautiful move upfield toward the first down marker to the 44.
did I spy with my pirate eye a little sidearm there by Caswell? Delivered that puppy on the mark, and they get a first down.
6 receptions on 9 targets for 40 yards for Stephen Acker. That puts Caswell at 10 of 16 for 75 yards passing. He throws again. It's complete.
Nice.
To Chris Curtis, his first catch of the night.
Yeah.
Welcome to the ball game, Mr. Curtis.
Another country is heard from. Can't say enough thank yous to Avery Allen manning the stats tonight for us. Oh, look at that.
See, Joe Dazzo was about 2 inches away from knocking that pass away.
It like went right over his arm.
And the offense starting to heat up here as they're in the Baltimore 40. Ash showed him running over folks as he gets down to the 36 for a 4-yard pickup.
Well, brings up 2nd and 6, and here's something we haven't really talked about yet tonight for Queen City. Kind of stays on or ahead of schedule in terms of down and distance.
2nd and 6 in the Baltimore 36. Standard pro set backfield, 3 wide receivers for Baltimore. J.K. Johnson all by himself at the top, but they get to Odom instead, and he picks up a yard. This is Mr. Ash Odom. 61 yards on 13 carries. 4.7 yards a carry for Mr. Odom.
Well, if you're Queen City, it's a hold your breath 3rd and 4 here as we're getting to the end of the 3rd quarter, and they need points.
3 wide receivers, a fullback in front of Ash Odom. Counter play to Odom. Oh! He had the opening, but he was stopped. He was stopped at the Baltimore 30 by Tony Willis and company.
Well, the attempt a field goal, which Baltimore would love to have you do, but you need touchdowns.
And they will go for the field goals. This will be about a 47-yard attempt out of the left hash mark. Out of the hold of Max Barney. And the kick is away. And it is good from 47. So it's now a 21-6 ball game with 25 seconds left in this third period of action.
Well, if you're Queen City, one stat you can point to is you've outscored. You've won the second half so far, 6-0. Is there enough time to keep this up?
Well, you're going to need some touchdowns sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
As the kick is away. Fielded by Apollo at about his 10. And Cody Apollo cuts up the middle and gets to the 30.
You need 2. And that's assuming you continue to stone Baltimore.
Meanwhile, for this Vulture offense.
Yes.
Dazzo still chasing after Marconi's mark. He's at 2:22 at this point. As Mike throws. It's intercepted! Pharaoh Reigns, as the pass was intended for Lloyd Graham Jr., but instead the diminutive cornerback intercepts.
Wow. And that wakes up the Queen City faithful who made the trip from Buffalo.
As this is now a big gesture and a big moment in the game, and surely the Rickometer has swung a little bit the other way.
I'm glad you brought up the Rickometer there. It is now still pointing at Baltimore, but it has moved substantially toward the middle, toward Queen City, but it's still on the Baltimore side of the dial.
As Caswell will take a deep shot, and it's intercepted by Joe Dazzo. So he makes good for his son's mistake by taking the ball away from Caswell on the very next play.
And the Rickometer moves a little more to Baltimore.
Kaz McFly knocked it in the air, and like the immaculate reception in Franco Harris, he makes a shoestring catch.
I did not expect to hear an immaculate reception comment tonight, but here we are.
Here's to get the T-Roy Gaines up the middle, and Mr. Gaines is now at 82 yards and 16 carries.
That's a double-up play for Baltimore.
We reached the end of the third quarter. It's now 21-6 in favor of the Vultures. We're watching the Simulation Football League on Twitch TV.
Baltimore gets distance and some clock burn with that running play. So here we are. 1 quarter to go. Queen City finds themselves down by 2 scores, but Baltimore is in possession.
From their own 24, 2nd and 4, Dazzo deep down the middle of the field as is caught by Daly Holder. He's off to the races, 30, 40, 20, 10, and he's down to the 12-yard line. And with that reception, Holder is now over 100 yards on just 4 catches. He's at 102.
I want it all. I want it all. Look at that.
He was wide open down the middle of the field, broke the tackle of Nacho Sicario.
The first deep or bomb thrown by the Vultures tonight catches Queen City by surprise as they allow the receiver to get behind their secondary. And now they're in the red zone. Oh,
as the offside, they throw it out to Holder again. No, to number 45. Ty Jordan, the backup tight end. They might as well take the yardage, I think.
Probably. Get an extra down. Give up a couple yards.
The call is on number 72. That was the first instance of Mia Undies laundry on the field. I almost forgot about that. As Baltimore will get 1st and 5 from the 7, and down he goes. Zane Duddy again on the sack. MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/SimulationFL for 15% off your purchase, which will help support the SFL through our partnership. Give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and returns. Signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. Meanwhile, back on the field, Dazzo again out to Warfield, and he gets knocked out of bounds at the 1.
And we're going to have yet another of those 1st and goals inside the 5 for Baltimore.
And with that last long reception, Mike Dazzo is now officially number 2 all time in total passing yards for a career. And TJK SFL gave 200 bits for that. Thank you, sir. Mike again will throw to the end zone, complete to Lee, the backup tight end. So even the backups are getting involved.
And there's another touchdown for your Baltimore Vultures.
I'll take a 27-6 lead.
As they take back the 6 points they've allowed on 2 field goals in the second half.
Take advantage of the interception by Papa Joe Daz.
Papa Joe.
And if you're the Corsairs, you gotta wonder, is the sky falling?
I don't know. They have a lot of weapons. They just have not been able to gel the last couple of weeks, and this game included.
As the extra point is up and good, so it's now 28-6 with 9:01 to go in the 4th quarter. As TJK SFL goes, SFL sponsors clean teeth, clean shave, clean undies. Anyone argue?
Changed my mind. I suppose you get clean logo and a clean music.
Clean music in the load, indeed. As the kick goes to Johnson, and Johnson up the middle gets knocked down at the 20.
Clean soundtrack.
As S Hacker 3 goes quiet chicken little.
There you go. He is that. King of extrapolation, are you, Colin?
Boy, yes I am. As Caswell is under center, sets the throw. Down the middle of the field, pass tipped in the air and almost intercepted again. The pass was intended for Hacker.
The deadly tip drill.
Giovanni Bull was in the neighborhood, but he didn't stick his hands out fast enough.
Yeah, I think a fairly measured look at Queen City, though, would say, they've got some problems, and in Week 9, they're still here. They don't have much time to figure this stuff out. So there's got to be a little bit of concern, more than a little bit of concern.
More concern, I would agree. Reception goes out to Odom.
I mean,
and he makes it a 3rd and 8.
I mean, it's not like they're the Gladiators or something, you know.
Hey now.
Hey now. And let the record show the sinister fist shake is being brandished by the play-by-play man.
7-step drop. Caswell going deep down the field. Pass is
nice.
complete to Chris Curtis. His 2nd reception. What a time for it. And Caswell is now at 119 at pick. Mike is now at 284 with 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Now that's what you're used to seeing from Queen City. Just a dynamite play. The right read and the ball thrown in the right place. Catch made. Almost looks like real football there.
We got it first and 10 at 47. And Caswell lines up under center. Take a look at their stats after displays. I showed him, takes it up the middle and gets smacked at the 50 after a 3-yard pickup by Papa Joe. That's 13 of 21 for 118 yards and 1 interception is Caswell. Joe Dazzo with 3 tackles and an interception for Baltimore on defense. Chris Curtis, 2 catches for 41 yards on 3 targets. Shodom gets another carry and grinds it down to the Baltimore 45. And the Corsairs will throw over the middle. Chris Curtis with his 3rd catch, a diving catch down to the Baltimore 33.
Yeah. More what I call real football. Let me explain that a little bit. Real football means a good play, well executed, not some kind of foobar or drop easy pass that's dropped or easy throw that's thrown poorly or a bunch of missed tackles or missed blocks. Just good one-on-one, well executed on both sides.
As another reception, this one goes out to Hacker, the team's leading receiver. He picks up 5, and with that reception, he now has 41 yards, 6 catches on 10 targets. And under center is Caswell, 2 tight ends, a balanced line. I showed him the deep back. And instead they'll swing it out, and Acker dropped it again.
Well, that was well covered. He should not have thrown that ball, Colin. That was lucky it wasn't worse than just an incompletion. That brings up 3rd and 5.
From the 27.
he knows, like, why did that even get thrown? That was too easy.
Yep. Thornberry's asking that very question.
All right, and that's an example of not real football.
Here's the handoff to Odom. And once again, they'll probably be forced to kick a field goal. Joe Dazzo racks up tackle number 4. Oh, and 100 bits from AJ Pick 6 were donated in recognition of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We got a 4th and 4. Another field goal to be tried. And this kick is up and through. So with 5:16 to go, 43 yards, Ricky Matthews makes it a 28-9 ball game. And you know it's 5 minutes left. You're down by a bundle of scores. I would consider an onside kick here.
Indeed, but it's kicked away.
Apollo fails this at his 5.
Oh!
And he gets smacked down at his 25.
the stiff arm gets boomeranged back at him, and down he goes.
Blag 7, sharing 500 bits. Thank you, sir. The owner of the Indianapolis Spitfire. There to look at T-Roy Gaines. Operating out of 3-man backfield. Will take the handoff. Squirts through a hole, broke a tackle, and Avery King with another tackle. That's only his 2nd tackle. Doty and Farrah Rains have 6 and 5 tackles respectively. T-Roy now up to 88 yards and 17 totes of the ball. clips 1,000 yards for the first time in his career last week. Congratulations, sir. 2nd and 5 from the Vulture 30. Quick pass by Dazzo out to Gaines, and the tackle is made by Oscar Dunkley for no gain.
Good individual tackle by Dunkley. Not one of those, I'm going to just go dive at your leg specials. Takes the time to wrap him up.
Two tight ends, one receiver to either side. Dazzo milking this play clock like he would a cow. Gives it off on the stretch to Gaines, carry number 18, and he doesn't pick up the first down. It'll be 4th and 1. Not just a carry and on the tackle. Thanks to I'm an effing problem for the 300 bits. We met up at the convention in Texas last summer. That's
right.
what he's referencing for those of you who need to be clued in.
Yeah, and if you're not getting with the SFL convention, which is coming up in Atlanta in July, I would urge you to strongly consider it. It was a great time in Dallas last.
Yeah, can't wait to hang out in the home city of Ashley Jackson.
No.
Yep, that's right. She lives there.
Sweet. Sweet indeed. Yeah, Colin and I will be there. So maybe we shouldn't have disclosed that. Maybe that will depress attendance.
Oh, no.
Well, Colin will be there. I'll be there too. He's got to go with his wingman.
As Caswell throws it to the sideline and Curtis for the catch. And here we go with the hyper-fast hurry-up offense. Standard Bros at backfield, 3 wide receivers, Chris Curtis in the slot. Caswell looking the other direction. Now goes to Odom, who had to go back for the ball and subsequently only gained about a foot or so.
For just a second there, the hurry-up offense was matched by a hurry-up play-by-play by Colin Northrup.
And cue the comedy drums. Badoom. We have 3rd and 2. 1 of 7 on 3rd down is Queen City.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry, Queen City. That's
trips to the
not
top.
fun.
They go to the other side, and it's complete to Acker, who knocks McFly on his butt out of bounds at the 49 clock stopped with 2:49 left.
Yeah, 2 of 8 now. 2 of 8.
Well, let me double check my numbers. Oh, just kidding. They were 5 of 12.
Okay, I was going to say. Yeah, it didn't.
But,
well, that's Avery Allen keeping everybody honest here.
Baltimore's run 65 plays. Queen City is now running play number 56.
Huh.
This is their 11th drive of the game. They have 21 first downs. Meanwhile, back on the field, here's the throw to the sideline to Chris Curtis, who is out of bounds. No, that was Stephen Hacker. The 8 and the 4 look the same. Some of the jerseys.
Well, on the far side of the field there, absolutely. So, 2nd and 10. 2:46 to go in the 4th quarter. 2-minute warnings coming up. Where Colin's going to tell you about some more sponsor stuff.
Thanks for a heads up.
I want everybody to pay attention to that.
2nd and 10. Caswell out of the gun, has plenty of protection, throws down the middle of the field,
Ooh.
knocked away
Ooh.
by Amon Takes, who says, "You shall not pass." His 2nd deflection.
He chose poorly.
And AJ pick 6, cheering with 1,000 bits. He's now to the top of the leaderboard for this week. Thank you, sir.
Wow, that's amazing.
So here's the 3rd and 10. Caswell knocked away. And they'll probably have to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, Caswell, I don't know what kind of wheels he has, but Baltimore runs a bit of a stunt, ends up overloading the right side of Queen City's formation, and Caswell, if he wanted to, could have pulled that down and might have made the first down with his feet.
Giovanni Bolt on a knockdown. 4th and 10 from the Vulture 49. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Back to throws. Caswell staring in the face of a blitz. Throws, and it's intercepted by Giovanni Bolt.
Wow.
Bolt makes the second Vulture interception.
Queen City just can't buy a break.
Elgin Villanueva, the intended receiver, but nothing doing.
As they were moving down the field, looking for some style points at this point looking for some style points here late in the game. But no, it's a pick.
Tight formation.
Are we running?
Here is handoff to Morehouse, and it looks like the second team will be in. That was to number 43, Damon Morehouse. As Adam Jefferson and a lot of the other backups are getting in. Always good to see these guys. They don't, they don't get paid much.
Well, they don't see the field that often, so it's good, and of course, obviously for safety, insurance, if you will. Got to play these guys.
That brings us to the quick 2-minute warning here. Watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Twitch. Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with timed vibrations. Brush head refills for $5, refilled every 3 months, covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link posted in the chat and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Quip, a more wholesome clean. Meanwhile, back in the field, Morehouse is tackled by Avery King.
Well, Queen City's not going down without a fight. They'd like to have the ball back and have another crack at the scoreboard. Even though they're down by 3 scores, it's a stretch to think they envision themselves winning, but they definitely need more snaps on offense.
If they don't get the ball back, says John Barnhart, they will only have 1 touchdown in the last 8 quarters of plays. Jefferson is sacked. Can see that. That was number 95. Tyro Mendez.
So that forces the Baltimore punt. Queen City's offense will get some more snaps. As I mentioned, as everybody's seen, they've had trouble. And they can use some more live action. Ethan, thanks for standing up for Colin. It's just a little friendly badgering back and forth about Young Gladiators. Nothing personal. Apologize if anybody took that the wrong way.
You have 1st and 10 from the Queen City 40. No timeouts and 1:46 to work with, and they're down by a whole bundle of points. Lead backups are in for Baltimore as the reception by Hacker is good for 3 yards. Kaz McFly still out there.
He is.
9 catches on 17 targets for 57 yards. Not the greatest day for Mr. Hacker. 2nd and 7. Throw over the middle. Oh, almost a one-handed catch by Hacker, who dropped that one fine to jarring hit from Kaz McFly. Third and 7 coming up. Baltimore 6 of 14 on 3rd down this evening. This will be play number 63 for the Corsairs. on the day. And Caswell is sacked and by number 70, Albert Butler. And it's just been that kind of day for the Corsairs. 4th and 13. Going for it once again. They got picked off last time. Caswell back to throw. Under pressure, has to throw this away. Hacker was the closest man to it, but Caswell just led him too far. So we get another look at it again. There was some pressure. He had to scramble out of there. Looks like he just wanted to not take another hit.
Yeah, and he's moving his feet. Didn't get him set. And couldn't really execute an accurate throw on that.
As Baltimore, with 1 minute 11 seconds, will go down and do one of the favorite victory for favorite formations in football, the victory formation. I just tripped over my words a little bit. Baltimore will move to 6 and 3. Queen City will drop to 5 and 3. It makes the bottom of the wild card race with those 3 4 and 4 teams. Sioux Falls, London, and Vancouver. It makes the bottom of that race all the more tighter. As the kneel downs continue. And there's a 10-second difference between the game clock. Play clock. And Joe Dazzo says, ice cream for everyone. Drive home safely. Beep, beep. I love it. As victory as 1,000 fathers, well, defeat is an orphan. And Ethan Kai says, nah, I'm stealing the whole truck. That's the end of the game. Baltimore defeats Queen City 28-9.
The woes for Queen City continue. That's obviously one of the storylines and will be a concern for Queen City and the people who are going to depend on Queen City to win.
Almost 25 minutes time possession went for Baltimore. They were 24-54.
Yeah, as I was saying, people are going to depend on Queen City to have some victories to help their teams advance or position in the playoff race. And to have Queen City suddenly come off the rails a little bit here is obviously a concern. Of course, if you're playing Queen City in the upcoming weeks, Colin, it's a different story. There's a lot of talent both on the field and on the coaching staff and the ownership group. Queen City, right, Colin?
Yeah, they got that championship pedigree for
They do.
For stuff.
Oh, and there's your Franco Harris reference. Pick.
As you see the highlights going across your screen, Mike Dazzo hits a personal milestone. He moves past Rocco Marconi, number 2 all time in career passing yards, finishes 284 yards and 4 touchdowns. Just a marvelous effort.
Who do you think they got for player of the game tonight?
Well, I think Mike's got to be worthy consideration. G-Roy Gaines probably is worthy of consideration.
Yeah, Lloyd Graham also had a good game.
Daley Holder had over 100 yards.
That was a sweet play, by the way.
And the extraordinary Everest player of the game is Mike Dazzo. 31, 38 for 284 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also had a couple of scrambles for 5 yards. Congratulations to him on that career milestone. For all of us at the Simulation Football League, I'm Colin Northrop. He's Rick Northrop. Good night, everyone.
And Ellen Avery in the truck, yeah. Avery Allen, I'm sorry.
Avery Allen, yeah. Thank you.
I'm reading the school attendance list.
Thank you for keeping track of all the stats in the booth. Good night, everyone.